Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining Communication Coach Balaji Ramaswamy. Today, we have a wonderful guest with us who is going to talk about one of the topics that we have never discussed so far. And I am extremely eager to know a lot about this interesting topic. We have been talking to a lot of educators about this. Uh, about various aspects in this series, but then we haven't spoken about this particular aspect yet. All of you might have heard this term homeschooling, but what is it? How does it work? Does it work or not? So you might have so many questions like this. We'll find out the answers to that today from one of the experts in this field. Um, our guest is the founder of Earthika. It's a learning center in Bangalore, and uh, they teach through various teachers a number of different topics, right from yoga to almost anything that you name it. They have classes related to that. I'm connected with her on some of the WhatsApp groups, and she has a list of groups. Whatever you want to learn, you can join one of those groups, and whatever your age is, doesn't matter, I think, for most of that. So you get to learn. And she is also a member of Earthika Toastmasters Club. And she also, it's I'm very happy to say that I had a chance to work with her on one of the social work projects that she took up. We were supposed to teach government school students, and I'm glad that I got the opportunity to work with her on that. With that said, let me, on behalf of all of you, welcome Geetha. Geetha, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Balaji, for having me here today. And it was great support you did on that, government school spoken English, and kids really enjoyed your program. They had a farewell which I couldn't attend, but they were all speaking about you, and it was really, wonderful sessions which you had done, an interactive or age appropriate or specific learning pattern which you created, and I was very much impressed, or neither I would say I was a learner, knowing your curriculum. So it was great support which you did for us, and we could contribute, both of us could contribute something for the society. And
Thank you. Thank you very
yeah,
much for the
thanks for
opportunity.
having me here today.
Thank you. Really means a lot. Thank you for joining me today on this segment. I would like to know a lot about homeschooling. I'm sure a lot of people who are watching this might have heard this term, but they don't know what is it and how does it work. So, could you start by talking about that? What is
Yeah, sure.
homeschooling? How does it work?
Yeah, so it is than a homeschool, we say the school home. Basically, the school is converted into home. It means learning is everything, and it is not a specific way of doing things. For instance, you don't have to, learn cooking only in your cooking class, or you don't have to learn math only with your book. So it is a school home which we have created at our home. We live in Gudat, Malhar, Kengeri, and the society and the community is also so much, supportive towards all of this. What we are doing it last 1.5 years in this space. Prior to that, I was in HSR, and I was introduced to homeschool very recently. But even before I knew that there is a homeschool, or there's an alternative learning, in a model, or it can be an open learning model, I never knew all of these terms before. But I was doing it. I was just started off by, just because I didn't enjoy going to school, and I knew that there was so much of time waste, and so much of things which I couldn't achieve during my school time, just because of my school timings, and as well as the stress which I had gone through. So I wanted a relaxed, or a kind of, a natural way of bringing up things. So that's how I started for my kids. I had some learning spaces in the, as a business from the beginning, before even they were born. but the school home started during pandemic as a very formative way. I mean, I was so proud of talking about myself as I'm a homeschooling mom, and it used to be a jaw drop from the other side. But before that, it used to be like, does the child has any problem? Do you have any financial crisis? That's how the reaction used to be before. So all of that began 15 years ago once my son was born, and from that day onwards till now, and we are still figuring out how to go about what to do and how to be in the school home pattern what we do.
Great. That's great. Could you talk about the experience of any specific child whom you have homeschooled?
Yeah. So I have two kids. One is turning 14 next week, and other one is 16. So if I would say their journey of both of them, the elder one has gone to a couple of schools and experienced few learning patterns like Montessori, IGCSE,
Hmm.
CBSE, and even Waldorf, all of that. But the younger one was complete homeschool and unlearner till 10 years old. Only last 3 years she's doing her academics and she's doing great. So the confidence towards the child, like the first child and the second child, is they have varied interest and the learning is very different. So we are able to cater them or neither work with them on their age appropriate or concept appropriate, their interest towards the subject. So we have 40 varied syllabus or subjects which we follow. So so they can pick and choose and combine it. So,
Yeah.
for example, the younger one is more of home science and psychology and arts and sports. The elder one is physics, math, sports, and more of business development. So it's a combination. They are not in science stream. They are not in art stream. So it's a
Okay.
combination, but we are able to choose that kind of subjects also being in this platform,
Okay.
which many
But
of
when
them
they
are not
choose,
aware.
I'm sorry.
That many of them are not aware. We used to think like
Okay.
either science stream or art stream or commerce stream, but you can
Okay.
combine it in each stream. You can take and combine it in the syllabus what we work with.
Okay. Okay. I was about to ask when they choose only a few subjects, are they missing out on other things? Because usually until 10th grade, we have to study all the five or maybe seven subjects that we have. So how does it work in homeschooling?
So what we have done is, if you take up the subject exposure, so we have given them some blogs, like 1.5 month is one blog, and in each blog we cover the whole portion, like in the sense at least the gist of the portions.
Hmm.
The For example, history, then we cover certain history. What is history? Why is history important to us? Where is it useful in our life? It is useful. Many of them say that it is not useful. So all the subject or anything whatever you take is, it is very useful. It is not that it is not useful, so we are not studying, is not our way. The subject interest is not so very inclined towards their interest. Like for example, they have done geometry, they have done history, they have done language, theater as language, they have done math games. So we do in a creative way than into a traditional conventional way. And
Okay.
it's a art and theater where they also prepare their props and they also act. So the theater of performance of art, how much it has to be expressed, what colors should be combined to get that expression, will be combined way of learning. So it is more of experiential than just theoretical and practical.
When a child is homeschooled, is it necessary for the parents to play the role of an educator, or should they hire a teacher? Uh, what should they do?
Yeah, till now I've never sat with my children on academics till today, and I was very clear, even before I started, that I'm not going to teach them. I'm
Hmm.
going to be an aggregator towards the facilitation of their subject, and I've given
And
them
how
varied
do you do
subject
that?
exposure. Yeah, I have given varied subject introductions. Like example, I talk to a teacher who's into the specific subject expert. Though the teacher itself have studied all the syllabus, all the subject, they are not ready to take all the subjects.
Hmm,
The same applies to the child also. It is not
hmm,
only to the teacher. So you would have studied all the subjects, right? But are you willing to take all the subjects? No.
hmm.
You would say that no, I'm good at math, I will take math. Or my interest area is science, I will take science. But once it comes to the student, you're not ready to accept. You say that the student has to study all the subject.
Hmm.
So this was a coverage which I wanted to give on the subject interest. What I do
Okay.
is, like, I talk to a teacher and I
Hmm,
tell them, I ask them what kind of teaching would they do, because I understand from the child's perspective, at least as an observer,
hmm.
what kind of learner the child is: auditory
Okay.
learner, or visual
Hmm,
learner, or kinesthetic learner, or working towards multiple intelligence. So we
hmm,
understand what kind of learner the child is, and also I express with the teacher saying that he would ask so many questions with you. Would you
hmm.
be having time or patience to work on that level of learning? Now, for
Okay.
example, your friend Bindu, whom you referred for English,
Huh.
she
Yes.
always has an interactive session only. She has never
Hmm,
done one way of communication till date.
hmm,
The one sentence, if the teacher talks, the other two questions that student ask, and more of interactive, and they learn. That's how we have developed the pattern.
okay.
So we work with 1.5 month of blog, where we cover certain level of portions in each subject. I've given them exposure to all the subjects.
Hmm,
Algebra, it can be geometry, drawing, it can be political science, it can be topics which is not in a regular form, like it is like my son was interested in news, you know so
okay.
we I also gave him an exposure towards journalist, journalism, how they capture the news, what is the, and also some kind of exposure towards research and development, how the forensic
Um,
department works. So all
cool.
of this is an aggregation which I do, like talk to the facilitator, ask them to curate a program for 1.5 month, and whether this age will be able to understand that philosophy or the structure, and then they teach.
Do exams come into picture anywhere in these?
Yes, very much.
Okay.
So, at least once in a while, at least yearly once, I give them a kind of, I do a testing towards their age. Like, if their age is eighth grade,
Hmm.
since, if you take my son, I've given him test, or gone and, I work with different schools. So I have sent them to a different school to just write exams. So he has
Oh.
written exams. Like suddenly, you don't have to prepare, because I believe in that. The knowledge what you know is what you have to transform.
Hmm, hmm.
So I
Okay.
just take him suddenly. He'll not even have any clue. We'll be talking, and many a times I have done so. He is always skeptical when I'll put him in that space. So whenever we go to the some school for some kind of communication or some kind of program, he will ask, "Is there entrance test for me? Is there assessment for me today?" I
Uh,
might say yes, and I might say no also sometimes. But I've always assessed the children on their age appropriate learning. If they
do
are not able to
schools
read and
agree to
write,
do this for everyone or?
some of the schools which I have connects with, which I work with personally, have agreed it. These are till grade 10. So grade 10 you
Okay.
can apply for either IGCSE, NIOS. We have tie up with CBSE schools, state board schools. So you can take any of the syllabus and prepare for the exams and give. That is a different ball game altogether. Like it's a
Hmm.
structured level of learning for a year's time. But as an assessment, and there are chances, like you appoint a online tuition teacher. Now, for example, you're an English teacher, imagine, and you're teaching, you're giving a demo for my son. So I would ask Balaji, can you please do an assessment also on his age?
Hmm. Okay.
While doing the demo, can you just give an assessment? So the teacher will prepare some questions, and he will say how much the child knows about the syllabus.
Okay.
That's very
Okay.
easy. It's very handy. You can get online tuition teachers, or
Hmm.
go to a tuition center and just go and ask them. You take a syllabus from CBSE or ICSE and give a subject, like, math, science, and English is one thing. These three subjects are always there with us. We are not focusing on languages, because I'll come on languages how we work. But these three subjects, we are always consistently having that in the mind. We are always
Okay. So
working on
math,
oral
science,
or
and
English.
English. Okay.
These three subjects we are always consistently working on with the child. Other subjects,
Okay.
we just give that, broader vision or the way of understanding, and we just don't do anything else. These three subjects, I can appoint a teacher online, pay that 1 hour fee for that faculty, and tell them just do an assessment, and let the
Okay.
teacher give me a feedback, and I'm open to listen. It
Okay.
can be anything. I'm not expecting results from them.
Hmm.
I'm not waiting for 100% result. I just wanted to know
Okay.
whether the child is able to attempt a test, or the child is age appropriate learner. Is the curriculum is able to he's able to he or she is able to synchronize with it.
Um, when I hear
So
you, what I understand is you are hiring teachers, you are connected with schools, you are researching the syllabus, and there is a lot of things that are going on. When both the parents are working and they want to homeschool a child, uh, they may not have the bandwidth to do all of these. What can they do?
see, there are many alternative school spaces, and there are many online schools which is available. So those are
Okay.
one of the options if you are able to understand the philosophy and if it is matching for you. If not,
Mhm.
you can appoint, you can schedule, like I do that. I schedule the whole day program back to back with the different facilitators. Like for example, morning 2 hours of academics, that time the child will sit for the academics. From
Okay.
10:30 to 4 p.m., I ask them to attend different classes, either online or offline. It can be art, theater, it can be electronics. There are robotics programs, which is private institutes around your vicinity. There are many kind of small institutions which is begin to facilitate all of this program. So you can send them for those classes, and if not, you can also assist, take a caretaker support to commute along with them, go with them and come back, all of that. And from 4 p.m. onwards till 7 p.m., it's always sports for the children. So there are sports like football, badminton, swimming, and TT, chess, all of this. 7 p.m., the child comes back home. Saturday, Sunday, if you are finding time, you can take them to planetarium. Every Sunday, there is some program which is happening. You can take them to the museum, and you can take them to British Library. You can take them to Kapan Park. So
Hmm.
there are homeschoolers meetup which happens.
Oh,
If you
okay.
want any support online, if you're far away from me, I'm happy to help them online on all of this, whatever I said. Offline, we are
Wonderful.
trying to put up some centers.
Okay. Okay. And how can people reach out to you?
Yeah, I don't have a website. It's only
Okay.
word of mouth and personal connects, only people can uh, reach out to
Okay.
me.
Okay.
So my number
Hmm.
can be shared to them, and they can just inform me when they are willing to talk to me, and I'll keep myself available to help them out in anything whatever they wanted
Okay.
to.
I'll add those details in the comments section.
Sure.
Could you also tell us, if not homeschooling, then what would happen?
uh, if not homeschooling, I would say that they would be um, uh, if not homeschooling, I would have sent them to an alternative space.
Hmm.
Or they would be a open learner. If my if open learner in the sense, like just travel, just do nothing and just observe and do things. So that is my wish and desire, which I couldn't achieve full fledged, but I'm partially
Okay.
able to give because of my peer pressure and family pressure. I have to also justify their thoughts and work on.
Okay.
But if not homeschooling, I would have opted for unlearning or open learning, where they
Okay.
don't have a structured learning style. They don't give exams, and they just do things what they like, and make living out of that, create a business, be a leader out of doing all of that.
Okay. And when it comes to going to college, what kind of challenges would the homeschool children face?
I don't
Or
see
how are they
they will
getting
face any
prepared for that?
challenges. Yeah. So if you see the college culture, it is almost like this, you go on specific subject, the professors will give you some kind of work towards it, and you have to do the rest on research, development, study, go through it and understand. So it is almost the similar culture is what which we are following now. The subject interest is already taken care because you're choosing your subject in college. Nowadays there are many combinated subjects, like what we are already opted for in 10th. The same kind of syllabus is available in college also. So you're going to just do the enhancement or extended version of what we are doing in the college. So it's going to be specific learning or development programs which college will offer them, and they'll be doing it. And the
Um,
certificates are very much eligible or qualified to get admissions in any
okay.
colleges across the world. So we can give the certificates, and we can work on it, because certain programs need teaching. It is not everything, online, and open learning is not everything. Like if they are taking some serious profession like medical engineering, and some of the programs which has to be exposed towards the learning pattern, they have to go through it. And they are to do. There are many homeschoolers who have become doctors, who have become engineers.
Okay.
And if you take, my son is planning for engineering only, my daughter is planning for psychology, but my son is planning for engineering.
So you said that your daughter is only 14 and she already has a career plan.
Yes, yeah, yes,
So
she has.
does
And
homeschooling
as well
actually
as it
help
is
them to
not one
identify it
career.
earlier? Sorry.
Huh?
Does homeschooling actually help them to identify the career choices earlier?
Yeah, yeah. Why? Because of that exposure what we give. We keep traveling, we keep meeting different wherever I go for the meeting, they are always part of it. So they understand all different professions. So it is not one career again. They have
Uh-huh.
if you take my daughter, she has three different interests. She says that
Mhm.
she wanted to be an artist, like in art she wanted to be in some form.
Okay.
It can be dance, music,
Mhm.
painting, and all the stuff. Home science is one thing which she's always doing something or other at home, like ice creams, pastries, cakes, cookies, and last week she did tiramisu. 2 days ago she
Oh
did
yeah, I
tiramisu.
did see the picture of that.
Yeah, and she does this obbatu and all, like even the
Okay.
traditional cooking also she tries all the menus. She keeps learning something or other in the home science projects, like it can be cooking, it can be even gardening, it can be even some kind of cleaning detergents which she does, and homemade items for their hair spa, face pack, all of that which she does. So home science is one, and other one is psychology, because she feels that she likes to meet new people, and talk about some solution for their problems. So she likes to be around people. So these three subjects she's taken it in NIOS also. She is writing all the three subjects along with math, science, and English. She's taken six subjects, and she's preparing for his 10th now, because NIOS has an option 14 years you'll be able to give exams.
So homeschooling has nothing to do with the children sitting at home and just being educated by their parents.
No, they don't have to. Parents do not educate the children. It is the outside. So basically, we all, if we agree, we have to believe that the kids are through us. It's not our own. Like you need a community or a village to bring the child. So that's what which we do in homeschooling community. So there are many kids who come to our home and stay here. There are sometimes kids go to their others friends house and be there. They understand how this in each house there's different house rules, right? So how it
Yes.
goes, what is their way, how they handle things, and they what they like, they carry it. They also come and discuss that, in that house this happened, can we also include that in our pattern? It was interesting, I like the menu, can we try that menu? That topic was very interesting, they were talking, can we go and visit that space? So there's something which non-stop learning, the ears are always open, the eyes are always seeking for something new to see. And they are so much warm and welcoming for others to come home. They know how to, the hospitality, the way they can share, the way they can share the knowledge about, like, I learned this, would you like to be a part of that group? I can help you out in this. That and all comes once you are living in a non-competitive learning pattern. Once you are in a competitive, you don't even want to share what I've done for the last week, what have I learned, because if I tell, the other child also might come up, you know brilliant than me. The comparison is not there. There's lots of compassionate, empathy, values, and gratitude, which I always see very nice to see them. They always say for simple things, oh, I'm so lucky, I'm so blessed, I'm so happy. For a simple thing they say
Yes.
that, and I feel that, it's okay. I felt that, it's so nice to have that joy. And they also say that, wow, you're so lucky, kind. It's not that out of jealousy, it is more of joy. For simple smallest thing they become so happy. So they sleep peacefully, they relax as they want. They don't like to do it, they openly tell, I don't like to do this. Do I have any other option to do it? So this kind of opportunities, you don't get it in a regular conventional way of learning.
Um, is there anything that you would like to tell people about homeschooling? Did we miss anything?
Yeah, basically, we have a constraint, or our conditioning towards education is always like, imagine the child is doing his math and coming back home after a tuition. Oh, he should be tired, I need to give him something to eat. The same thing is not applicable for theater or arts. After a drawing class, if you say, the child is tired, you, as a parent, we say that, you just finished your drawing class, what did you do? It's not something great, kind. So the conditioning towards academics, what we learned is so different than what today's children are. And I'm happy with many of the parents, who have understood that and who are working on the child's passion. There are many parents who are really supportive, I don't deny it at all. But education system can be much more flexible or relaxed, and give an opportunity for the individual child to express about their views, about the just not limiting them from the the time, and not there's no ears to hear them out. So it's not that we are totally giving up our life for the children. They are also co-living along with us. It is not coexistence. And just give them the space which you can do it. Just being comfortable and just little relaxing your shoulders itself is a big thing which you can do for the children, than working on what marks, what is the report card stating, and the comparison towards the neighbor or the cousins or the friends. And just work on the happiness, every individual child's happiness, and learning towards life, than learning towards just for the sake of academic or marks. uh, would be a great change of every individual parent. However, you are sending them to school, or um, not sending them to school, doesn't matter. But just by having this kind of uh, the way you look at things can really bring in a change for the future. Education system has to change, has to bring in a change for the next generation, which can't go this way. It is not the right way,
Mm.
because we keep reading in newspaper and getting to know the news, run suicide, stress, anxiety, depression. It's a real time we work on our mental health, our own peacefulness, our own mental health, and the children's. The next generation should be happy. We should give them the best environment to be with, live with, and joyful, spread the happiness.
Thank you. Thank you so much for those important words. And thank you for telling us a lot about homeschooling. And yes, I hope many parents take your words and uh, be a little bit more relaxed. Uh, Life has its own way of teaching many things, and if they could create that space for the children to learn, that would be the best gift that they can give for them, I guess. So it was a pleasure having you here. Thank you so much once again for joining us.
Thank you, Balaji. Thanks for having me today. Thanks a lot. Great evening to you.